The royal family, long a symbol of tradition and continuity, has seen its fair share of internal conflicts over the years, but nothing quite like this. As the winds of change blow through Buckingham Palace, the sudden and shocking tension between Camilla, Queen Consort, and Princess Anne has sent shock waves through the monarchy. What started as a seemingly minor disagreement over royal protocol has escalated into a full-blown power struggle with roots deeper than anyone could have anticipated. Camilla, once seen as an outsider, had worked tirelessly to earn her place by King Charles's side. From the moment she became the wife of the future king, she navigated the turbulent waters of public opinion, overcoming years of negative press and public skepticism. She managed to secure her position as Queen Consort, a title that had once seemed impossible to attain. Yet, just as she believed she had reached the pinnacle of her royal journey, Princess Anne stepped in, quietly and decisively, to shut down what many royal insiders are calling a bold power grab by Camilla. For Camilla, it seemed like the perfect moment to solidify her influence within the monarchy. With her title as Queen Consort now official, many assumed she would be granted full access to the inner workings of the royal household. After all, the Queen Consort is traditionally seen as the partner of the monarch and should be included in key discussions and decisions. But Princess Anne, always a staunch defender of royal traditions, had other ideas. The tension that built over time. The rift between Camilla and Anne did not happen overnight. It was the culmination of years of simmering tensions, personal differences, and a divergence in how each woman viewed her role within the monarchy. To understand this, one must look back to the very beginning of Camilla's journey into the royal family. When Charles and Camilla married in 2005, the palace made it clear that Camilla would not be referred to as queen. Instead, she was given the title of Princess Consort, a compromise that respected the public's lingering attachment to Princess Diana and the complicated history surrounding Camilla's relationship with Charles. At the time, the palace carefully worded the arrangement to avoid controversy, with the understanding that Camilla would not be considered a full partner in the monarchy. But that, it seems, was never enough for Camilla. Over the years, whispers began to circulate that she had always hoped for a more prominent role, even dreaming of one day becoming Queen Consort. As Charles ascended to the throne, her wish was granted. But for Princess Anne, this was seen as a betrayal of the agreement made so many years ago. Anne, a lifelong believer in tradition, reportedly viewed Camilla's rise to Queen Consort as a break from the established order. For Anne, the role of Queen Consort should be one of quiet support, not active leadership or influence. She had always believed that the monarchy was an institution, not a platform for personal ambition. And in her eyes, Camilla's growing power was beginning to threaten that institution. The power struggle: who holds the reins? As Camilla began to assert herself more openly, she reportedly made several moves to expand her influence within the royal family. One of the most shocking was her attempt to gain unrestricted access to royal affairs, specifically the confidential briefings and high-level discussions that are typically reserved for the monarch and trusted royal advisors. Camilla, it seemed, wanted to be more than just a ceremonial figurehead. She wanted to play an active role in shaping the future of the monarchy. But Anne, always vigilant and protective of the royal traditions, was not about to let that happen. Sources claim that Anne moved quickly behind the scenes to prevent Camilla from gaining access to these sensitive documents and discussions. Anne, who had spent her entire life dedicated to the service of the crown, saw Camilla's ambitions as a threat to the stability and integrity of the monarchy. For Anne, loyalty to the monarchy was about more than just titles, it was about dedication to its survival. And in her view, Camilla had not yet proven her loyalty in the same way that she had. A battle of approaches, tradition versus modernity. This power struggle wasn't just a matter of titles and influence, it was also about how each woman viewed the monarchy itself. For Anne, the monarchy was a timeless institution, grounded in centuries of tradition. She had always adhered to the belief that royals should work for their titles, that duty should come before personal desire. Anne's dedication to her role was unwavering, and she became known as one of the hardest-working royals, attending hundreds of engagements every year. Her style was modest, and her approach to royal duties was practical and no-nonsense. She saw herself as a servant to the monarchy, not as someone looking to make a statement. Camilla, on the other hand, had a different approach. She understood the power of public perception and used her position to enhance her status. Her wardrobe choices were elegant, her public appearances carefully curated to project an image of grace and sophistication. While Anne may have seen Camilla's lavish fashion choices as a distraction, Camilla understood that her image was part of the modern royal brand. She embraced high-end fashion and designer pieces as a way to reinforce her role and her position beside King Charles. But Anne, who had always been known for her simplicity and commitment to duty, found this approach to be at odds with the monarchy's traditionally austere image. Was this a clash of personal style, or was it something more? According to insiders, it was a symbolic difference. Anne viewed Camilla's more glamorous approach as an indication of her growing desire for power, while Camilla saw her image as an important tool in navigating the public eye. For Anne, it wasn't just about personal style, it was about making sure that the monarchy remained grounded in tradition, and she felt that Camilla was pushing against those boundaries. The breaking point, Anne's strategic moves. As the tension between the two women escalated, Anne took a decisive step that would have a lasting impact on Camilla's role within the monarchy. According to sources, Anne worked quietly to restrict Camilla's access to the most important royal documents and briefings. Traditionally, the Queen Consort has been kept in the loop regarding matters of state and royal affairs. But Anne, leveraging her deep connections within the palace and her long-standing commitment to the institution of the monarchy, ensured that Camilla was not given the full access she desired. This move was seen as a direct challenge to Camilla's authority. Without access to these key discussions, Camilla's influence within the royal family would be severely limited. She may have held the title of Queen Consort, but Anne's actions ensured that her role would be largely symbolic rather than functional. The fallout, Charles' dilemma. The situation quickly escalated, with tensions rising between Anne and Camilla. Sources claim that Camilla confronted Charles, demanding to know why she was being excluded from critical discussions. She argued that as Queen Consort, she had earned the right to be fully included in royal affairs. Charles, caught between his loyalty to his wife and his sister, was said to be deeply conflicted. On one hand, he had spent decades advocating for Camilla's acceptance within the royal family, and now that she had finally received the title of Queen Consort, he wanted her to have the power that came with it. But on the other hand, Anne was his sister and a trusted advisor. If she believed that limiting Camilla's access was necessary to protect the monarchy, could he really argue against it? Ultimately, a compromise was reached. Camilla was granted access to some key documents and included in certain meetings, but her influence remained limited. Anne continued to ensure that her role within the royal family remained carefully managed, with her access to the monarchy's most sensitive affairs being closely monitored. The bigger picture, a royal family in flux. This quiet but dramatic power struggle between Camilla and Anne has raised important questions about the future of the British monarchy. With Charles now king, how much influence will Camilla wield within the family? Will she continue to push for greater authority, or will Anne's unwavering commitment to tradition ensure that the monarchy remains rooted in its historical foundations? As the royal family navigates these tensions, the world watches closely. The question remains, is this a temporary struggle for control, or the beginning of a larger shift within the monarchy itself?